Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. If this video hits 1,500 likes within 24 hours, we're giving away $100 worth of crypto. 3 steps: make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below. Then also check out the Growth Masters Academy, my second channel. It is basically about what I do on a day-to-day basis, and I think I could teach you guys how to make some extra money online too. So check these videos out. If you watch them all, I think you definitely already have a good idea of how to make some money, I guess aside from your normal job, maybe, I don't know. But check it out, link down below. Then Big Skinny just posted, I believe the OCC just told the SEC XRP is good to go. And Crypto Zork replied to that saying, I think it's the opposite. The SEC pulled the rug out from Ripple's feet so that now the OCC could approve the use of blockchain and stablecoins, and Ripple's hands are tied. Smells fishy. I truly hope they are wrong though. I'm wrong. And then XRP plus QNT Filthy Rich said, it's amazing how many people still just don't get it. XRP is not a stablecoin. It'll bridge stablecoins as a settlement token. Keyword. And this all refers to the OCC, who put up a couple of statements earlier today, one of them being, the OCC clarifies national banks and federal savings associations' authority to participate in independent node verification networks and use stablecoins to conduct payment activities and other bank permissible functions. Then Haley Lennon, because this was Brian Hubbard, said, breaking guidance from the OCC allows U.S. banks to use public blockchains and dollar stablecoins as a settlement infrastructure in the U.S. financial system. And it goes on for a little bit. Brian Brooks also said, thank you, Rep. Tom Emmer, for your leadership and partnership on financial innovation. As Tom Emmer said a couple of hours ago, the OCC is very confusing because it says U.S. OCC, but you only say OCC, but it's very close to SEC. You guys see what I'm trying to say? But the US OCC has demonstrated tremendous leadership in government through the past several months under the leadership of Brian Brooks. That's what Tom Emmer said. And basically, Brian has just verified the situation now that, yes, the whole stablecoin situation has actually been mitigated, at least in my opinion. And basically, it is so that all this blockchain stuff we've been talking about regarding stablecoins is actually less of an issue. And I believe to a certain degree that all we were wondering about has now been allowed. So a key word, in my opinion, is the fact that this has nothing to do with XRP in a bigger sense, unless you're talking about the part of that banks are allowed to use public blockchains, period. All right, it just kind of depends on if this part, the U.S. Banks to use public blockchains and dollar stablecoins, if they're two different things, which they are, then it's actually a very positive thing for crypto in general. But they're mostly talking about things like USDC, as there were some lawsuits going on with Tether. There's a very big situation going on between, I guess, the financial system that's already in place versus Tether. However, it's being fixed. Tether is a stable coin in this sense, USDT, but USDC is also a stable coin, yet those ones are more loved because they're more centralized in the sense that they're more regulated in a more proper way. Exciting for projects like USDC and other stablecoins. For anyone new to the space, stablecoins are simply cryptos that are designed to minimize the volatility of the price by pegging the price to an asset or basket of assets. Write this down because you're going to start seeing it everywhere. INVN is Independent Node Verification Networks. If you don't read the whole interpretive letter, even though you really should, at least read this. Over time, banks' financial intermediation activities have evolved and adapted in response to changing economic conditions and customer needs. Banks have adopted new technologies to carry out bank permissible activities, including payment activities. The emergence of new technologies to facilitate payments, support financial transactions, and meet the evolving financial needs of the economy has led to a demand for banks to use INVNs to carry out their traditional functionings. The changing financial needs of the economy are well illustrated by the increasing demand in the market for faster and more efficient payments through the use of decentralized technologies, such as INVNs, which validate and record financial transactions, including stablecoin transactions. To me, this is very interesting. I actually think it actually does help out Ripple, even though it is not directly connected to them in a certain way, because, well, this whole lawsuit here is most likely the lawsuit that Ripple is involving themselves with, is most likely really a timely issue, where the SEC is trying to sue Ripple now before all other parties and all other countries have a proper regulatory framework out there, because already a couple of countries have deemed XRP to not be a security yet, not all of them just quite yet, and the US wants to take a leading role in calling all the shots here. However, they're first of all a little bit late, yet also a little bit early in the sense that they're early enough for the US as a government to not have proper rulings for cryptocurrencies yet, and I believe the SEC, even though this is their job basically to make these newer rules through the courts because they cannot make rules themselves, I believe they tried to make an example out of XRP as newer crypto that they want to regulate, where they just want to kind of go through, as they don't want to change the financial system. They want these cryptos to be integrated into the financial system. I think, however, that they didn't expect a change like this either, because the OCC basically has just kind of told the SEC to sit back down, because this whole stablecoin situation is also not a security, at least in the eyes of the OCC, and everything's going to be looking pretty amazing as of this point. I just think everything looks good, but it's pretty hard to explain exactly why. It's just all these things are lining up. They're so coincidental. Everything is so weirdly planned out, yet also it's not like all parties are with each other. It's not like the whole US government and every single party in there actually wants to crack down crypto. It is basically just the SEC, even though it's their job, I know, that is trying to crack it down and just make the innovation not happen. The OCC, however, is not letting that happen. And stablecoins, for example, if they were to be deemed securities, it would be such a bad issue. They didn't let it get there, though. And by the way, talking about this backed coins and stuff like that, I personally have bought some GSX. A couple of you guys said, man, I don't like it. Hey, if you don't like it, don't buy into it. As simple as that. There's no must. I'm just saying I bought a couple $1,000s worth of this coin. I think it might be cool. And that's the thing, guys. Some of these things are a little bit of a risk. And that's the thing I'm seeing with GSX right now. I'm putting a little bit of money in, hoping for a huge return. If I don't get it, all right, too bad, right? I don't think it's a scam. I don't think it's anything bad. That's, of course, why I'm talking about it here. If I thought it was, of course, I wouldn't take the risk here. However, I also put money in some scams, all right? I sometimes do it. Why? Well, because you sometimes, not always, but sometimes can get more money out of it than you put in. For example, back in 2017, a lot of us on YouTube here and a lot of us in the crypto space were just putting money into all these things like BitConnect and whatnot, even though we knew that it was going to eventually be a scam. Now, unfortunately, I didn't make money with that. I did make money with some other ones. It's the risk you're playing, right? Because it's such an easy 100 times return on some of those coins or some of those projects if you're lucky. And with this ones, I'm also thinking like maybe we could just get a huge ROI. And personally, I've talked with the team here, and they look very legit in every way, shape, or form. You can visit the mines in which they're mining the gold from, because basically it's a gold-backed coin, which, again, sounds really interesting in my opinion. But yeah, some people don't like it, some people do. Hey, links down below. You can check it out if you want to. Otherwise, do not. Do your own research and, decide for yourself. John Deaton, however, also posted on Twitter, in the SEC complaint against Ripple, it alleges that Ripple continues to sell unregistered securities in the form of XRP. Unlike in the ICO cases of 2017, the SEC did not only focus on early distributions, but made the ridiculous claim that XRP is a security today. Let's review. The controlling law on what constitutes a security was handed down in 1946 in the Supreme Court case of SEC v. Howey. Howey has set the standard for over 74 years, and the underlying asset in Howey was orange groves. Thus, we must compare the orange groves to the digital asset XRP, because that's basically what they are doing. Orange groves were plots of land that were sold to tourists. The investors purchased the lots of land but also paid the seller money to manage the orange groves. The seller would plant the seeds, water the trees, harvest the oranges, and sell the oranges to people and places. The investors sat back, did nothing, and shared in the profits. The Supreme Court laid out a 4-factor test that has become the Howey test in deciding whether an asset is a security, and those 4 factors are: a person must invest money in a common enterprise, the person is led to expect profits by the sponsor or company they bought the asset from, and the profit arises from the sole efforts of other people than the investors. The Supreme Court, in applying the 4 factors, concluded that the orange groves were securities. They were securities because the investors did nothing. They never visited the land, never produced the tree or procured the trees, never took possession of the oranges or did anything except invest money and wait for profits. After Howey, there have been a progeny of cases similar to Howey. In all the cases applying the Howey test, 4-factor test, none of the assets can obviously be compared to digital assets like XRP or Ethereum or Bitcoin. Some of the other highlighted assets in famous cases include oil drilling rigs, whiskey barrels, payphones, and beavers. In all those situations, the assets were deemed a security. All four factors must be met. In order to be deemed a security, in all of these cases, the assets, which are orange groves, payphones, whiskey barrels, beavers, were purchased directly from the seller/sponsor. How many XRP holders right now bought directly from Ripple? None of us. In the above cases, the investors never took possession of the assets, and the seller/sponsor had complete control over the oranges, whiskey, and beavers. How many of you allow Ripple to control your XRP? None of us. In the cases that the courts deemed the asset a security, the investors never took possession of the why am I doing this so wrong? Assets, and was never in control of the assets. The investors did not take any of the oranges or whiskey, I believe this is whiskey barrels, or the payphones or beavers and sell them to themselves. We own and control our XRP. This fact alone makes XRP not a security. Not only does Ripple not maintain our XRP, many of us don't even let exchanges hold our XRP. We can gift our XRP, we can hold our XRP, and we can sell our XRP. We can even convert our XRP to some other coin. If the investors in Howey would have taken possession of the oranges and sold them themselves or ate them, it would have not been a security. One thing is for sure, even if the Howey investor would have taken the oranges, they would be able to convert them to apples. I would do something that the SEC did not do in its complaint against Ripple: apply the four-factor test. 1. Did we invest money? Yes, XRP meets this factor, but so does every single investment: stocks, bonds, real estate, whatever. 2. Did Ripple lead us to believe that we would make a profit from our XRP? No. We didn't buy it from Ripple, and we never talked to them about our purchases. In fact, we all knew it was possible that we would not make a profit, as crypto is still in its early development. So that one I would like to step into. I actually think this is a very big misconception to some people, that some are like, whoa, crypto, we're going to make money with that. It's a fact. Even though I'm personally thinking like that, and a lot of you guys are too, it's not a certainty. And nobody's really making us believe that except for ourselves, because the issuers of these coins or tokens, they can basically not tell if their coin is going to be amazing or bad and make you really money. It's really difficult to say, and it's never a guarantee, because crypto can really be outlawed, for example, like it's kind of happening now. Nobody can really know whether or not this will make us money. So Ripple has definitely not made us believe that it will make us money. They did, however, tell us that there was going to be more use for the coin. And some employees have said that a higher price would result in better services, basically, but they never really said, hey, purchase because XP is going to up, or purchase if you want to make some money, or purchase because it's going to be amazing. No, they never actually told you to purchase it at all. I don't think they've ever done an ad in that way, shape, or form at all. They just explain about what they're doing, and that's basically it. I've personally never bought from Ripple. I never knew anybody, or don't know anybody who has. 3, are we engaged in common enterprise with Ripple? No, we didn't buy from Ripple, and all we use different exchanges around the world. We all use different exchanges. 2 exchanges are in fact competitors to each other, the very opposite of common enterprise. And then 4, did profits from our XRP arise solely from the efforts of others? No. Some of us can use our XRP as collateral to acquire loans in fiat money or crypto. We can gain interest on our XRP and generate yield that we can't get with fiat money. Now, point 4 here is a little bit of a 50-50, as some might argue that Ripple is the 90% pusher for XRP with their use cases. However, it's also a difficult one to really grasp, because to a certain degree, what Deaton says here is really true. We can actually do quite a lot for our own XRP, for our own money here. However, us as individuals, we can build on top of XRP, but still it would only make like a 1% change unless we are very, very good with it and do some very big stuff. However, that did make me think about it. What if we as a community were to step up and build some huge use case? Flare? No, don't talk to me about that, because that is also funded by Ripple. I'm talking about a real use case from the community, like for example what XRPL Labs used to do, that type of stuff, but then stand completely aside from Ripple, not get funding, but only get community funding in a certain way, shape, or form. And maybe once it's really rolling and we got some SEC clearance, that then Ripple can fund. But as long as we got something that's really community-based, we can finally say once more, like, hey, look at this, SEC, for example. Ripple's not doing all for XRP. Look at what we're building. Just people, random people who bought this coin themselves without really even knowing Ripple existed, possibly. That would be interesting in my opinion. But thus, applying all the 4 factors of the Howey makes this case clear. The SEC must prove all 4 factors, and they can only prove one, the same one that they could prove for anything, basically, for stock, Pokemon cards, art. I know it sucks to watch your money get cut by 60-75%, but we will win. In the coming days, I will tweet other things that I intend to prove in court against the SEC. I know these are long tweets, but I hope that it helps provide some little clam, because we got this. And I do agree with John in quite a couple of ways. However, I do think they can actually prove 2 or even 3. However, proving all 4 is going to be difficult for them. And the thing is, you can kind of, talk yourself into a way of believing that it is not true. However, the SEC also thinks about this stuff, of course, and they have most likely gotten the 4 factors out for themselves, and they most likely already claimed that all 4 of them are satisfied, which is why they go through with this lawsuit. And we as individuals can always find counterparts of like, no, this is not true, this is not true. But if they think it is true, it just depends on what a judge is going to think. If you can reason it like this, you might win on some judge, but not all judges will actually believe your side of things, because the SEC actually has an explanation for all of this as well, which is very important to know. As I just kind of explained already, all these points can be debated. For example, did Ripple lead us to believe that we would make a profit? Well, that depends. Us, no, but maybe they did for some investors on the low. Maybe they did sell it to them in that sense. Did we invest money? Yes. Are we engaged in common enterprise? Again, that kind of depends on how you want to look at it. And did profits from our XRP solely arise from the efforts of others? Again, that kind of depends on how you look at it. It really just depends on what your point of view is and how you'd like to see it. I know for a fact that the SEC is not going to let this one slide, and they're definitely going to counter in the sense that they most likely thought about all of this, but I'm still quite excited to see what is going to be coming from all of this. I'm pretty excited still. Let me know what you guys are, though, in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody. Have a very nice day, and I think the lawsuit will be fine, but it's still a risk. It is still a risk.